New Entry Wrestling Podcast.
In this episode, we got 5 chapters lined up from the SummerSlam 2025 Night 2 review to my dream event with my special guest, Andre the Savage. And the big fight replay is going to be Hogan versus The Rock, WrestleMania 18 Icon versus Icon. A historic night when it comes to passing of the torch, but is it as historic as the champ versus the American Nightmare? IAN is who I am, and a storyteller is who I'm trying to be. And if you're feeling so high, enjoy. Give me a holla. Now let's go. Chapter 1, new entry, new energy. Alright, before we jump into wrestling, I want to share a little about me, why wrestling matters so much, what drives this podcast, and what you can expect from this journey. So let me start with some questions I've been asked, or maybe you're wondering yourself. So why start this podcast? Honestly, wrestling has been a huge part of my life, and not just the big matches or the flashy moments, but the grind behind the scenes, the guys who show up every night and work their tails off. I started this podcast to give those guys a voice, and I want to share my passions with others who appreciate the work, the drama, and the heart. What's the difference about this podcast? You won't hear a lot of the hype or fake drama here. This is about real talk, real respect, the spotlights on the wrestlers who often get overlooked. Plus, we're going to have some fun, break down matches, and dream up what could be. What can listeners expect? Each episode will have chapters, like mini segments, that will cover match reviews, dream cards, special guests, awards, and even watch-alongs. I want it to feel like you're here with me, watching the action and talking wrestling. Wrestling is more than a show. It's about the people who live and breathe it every day. That's what we're here to celebrate. Alright, now that you know where I'm coming from, it's time to jump into some wrestling. Let's move on. Chapter 2, SummerSlam Showdown, old versus new. SummerSlam is the night where legends fight and new stars rise. Night 2 in 2025 was more than a card. It was a real clash. John Cena and Cody Rhodes face off in a big battle. And I'll announce the winners for the Spotlight and Bell to Bell awards, so stay tuned. On the second night, the opening match was Naomi defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in an electrifying match. Ripley hit Naomi with a riptide, but Sky stopped the pin in a thrill finish. Naomi outmaneuvered Rhea Ripley during an avalanche riptide attempt on Sky and secure a roll-up pin to retain her title. So my predictions for this women's match was Rhea Ripley, but the winner of this match was Naomi. Next, the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy defended the SmackDown WWE Tag Team Championship in a TLC match against the Street Profits, DUI, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Man, I still can't pronounce this team. Nathan Fraser and Axion, Andrades, and Rey Fenix. Whew, damn. During the match, there were big crashes with tables and ladders, and appearance by Kansas Lorraine, B-Fab, Nikki Cross, Eric Rowan, and Uncle Howdy in an exciting moment. As Phoenix climbed the ladder, Loomis hit him with a steel chair, and then Loomis and Gacy did a suplex powerbomb move. Gacy climbed the ladder and took the belts to win. A memorable moment happened when Kansas accidentally fell off the top of the ladder, landed on another ladder that her husband had accidentally pushed. My prediction for this match was the Street Profits, Angela Dawkins, and Montez Ford, but unfortunately, they did not get the W, and the winner was the Wyatt Six. So I took an L on that one. In the third match of the night, Becky Lynch defended the WWE Intercontinental Championship against Lara Valkyrie in a no disqualification, no countout match. During the fight, Lynch tied Valkyrie's hand with a zip tie. Valkyrie went under the ring to free herself when Lynch tried to perform a manhandle slam from the steel steps. Valkyrie countered with her Nightwing move. Back in the ring, Lynch slammed Valkyrie through 2 chairs, almost getting the win. As Lynch tried to hit Valkyrie with a crowbar, Bayley stepped in and grabbed it from her. Lynch wanted Bayley to hit Valkyrie, but Bayley refused. They started fighting outside with Lynch taking out Bayley while Valkyrie jumped off and landed on Lynch through a table. In the end, Bayley accidentally hit Valkyrie with a chain instead of Lynch. Lynch seized the chance and performed another manhandle slam on Valkyrie to keep her title, stopping Valkyrie from challenging again while Lynch is the champion. My prediction for this match was Becky Lynch, and the winner was Becky Lynch. Let's go. By the way, congrats to Naomi on her pregnancy. Congrats on that. Fortunately, it sucks that she needed to vacate the title, but day of recording, she had to vacate the title, and we will be crowning a new Raw Women's Championship between Stephanie Valkyria and Io Sky. So let's go. My pick is going to be, I'm going to be honest, I think it's going to be Stephanie Valkyria, I don't know, Stephanie Valkyria. I would go with Io Sky, but it's like, I don't think that's going to be the right call, just because it's like, if she wins, then what? I feel like at this point, it's probably best for Io Sky to continue being the challenger for the Raw Women's Championship, you know, instead of her winning the title again and just being like, okay, then what? She's champion again, and then what? She's going to go face Rhea Ripley. At this point, at this moment, it's like Rhea Ripley and Io Sky don't need to face each other for the women's world title. They could start, it could be like The Rock and Steve Austin, where it's just like, it's just a competition now. You know, same thing with Triple H and The Rock, even though they kind of like hated each other. But it's like, between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, it's all about competition. It's no hatred with each other. So it's like, do they really need a title? No. You know, at this point, I feel like they should team up, go after the women's tag team titles, eventually go for the either the United States or Intercontinental title. You know, I feel like that will build up those titles way better in the legacy and all that. So I don't know. It's gonna be pretty interesting how that would go. And then when it came to the tag team match, like I said, I was a little disappointed. I thought the Street Profits were going to win, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that way. It seems more like the Street Profits are going to be splitting up. Now, hear me out. I don't think they should split up. I think the group, the Street Profits, it's like, don't be a team, be a stable now. So it's like, realistic. Let's say they split up. Because if I was their manager, I'm like, if you guys split up, what are you guys going to do? Why is it that Montez Ford, you know, be like, why can't I put y'all in the Battle Royal? Whoever wins, hey, you got to you're going to step aside and we're going to push this guy. All right? And then we'll do like a couple months or whatever. I don't understand why we can't push both of them. Right? But let's just say if one of them does become a number one contender, that's like, okay, that's the guy who we're going to push, right? Because he's the number one contender. Now, say, okay, he lost the opportunity. Now we gotta, when it comes to another opportunity, title shot is like, okay, whoever gets the next IC title match, is going to be either the person who didn't have the opportunity, right? But it's like, with no titles, it's like, bro, push both of them to be stars. Because isn't that what you want at this point? To be stars? It's like, you don't really care about the champions. All they care is about views, making a moment, you know, make a name for yourself. That's all they care. So that's what I'm saying, where it's like, I feel like, I would say bring Carmelo Hayes into the group. And I would do kind of like my own version of like the Hurt Business. Not saying I was the manager. I'm just saying I'm doing the point. In my point of view, as the management, I'll probably have, I don't know who would have the management. Who could manage the Street Profit? Damn, that's a good question. Who could manage? I would say probably The Miz. You know? Hey, like, I feel like The Miz is like, hey, we could still party, but also be reasonable when our spending money. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we got WWE money, but it's like, but this isn't, you know, like, how do you know this is going to last forever, right? So, and then the difference between The Miz's money and everybody else's money, like the Street Profits, the Motor City Machine Guns, The Miz has been making, like, he's been with WWE for a long time. So he's been making little money to the big money. The people who are currently now, they're making big money. Nothing compared to The Miz money, but still, you know what I mean? It's like, basically how WWE superstars are starting off now, they're making more. But that's if you already have an established names. Before, they didn't really care about that. Before, it was like, even if you had a name, we're still going to pay you not that much. Because it's like, you made a name outside of WWE, you know? So it's like, we're trying to start you fresh here. So the times did change for that to happen. Which is a good thing, you know? It's like no difference of an actor working for a Marvel Studios and then going to work for DC Studios. It's like, oh, you made a name for yourself there. Of course, we'll pay you a little bit more because you're going to bring views or attention towards us, whatever, money, profit, whatever, you know. And, AJ Lee return. Damn, that's crazy. Not really. It was kind of predictable. I think we always knew. That's the thing. See, we always knew it was going to happen. I just thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam. You know? I never thought if, you know, SummerSlam, you know, WrestleMania, you know, because it was like, oh, you know, it would be, I really thought that's when it was going to happen. I really thought it was like, I got to main event WrestleMania. The one thing I would truly love to do is have a mixed tag team match with my wife. And what a place to do it at WrestleMania, you know? If not WrestleMania, or at least SummerSlam. But I really thought it was going to be SummerSlam. And then once I found out it wasn't going to be SummerSlam because of the King of the Ring, I was like, oh, okay. All right, then it's probably going to be WrestleMania. And I'm thinking, like, that's my mindset. You know, like, that's probably how it's going to go down. And I knew it was going to be Seth Rollins and Becky, you know. And I was like, how crazy would that be the main event? Like, that will probably be the main event for WrestleMania. But yeah, it is happening. So it's like, I kind of predicted it. But it's happening at WrestlePalooza. At ESPN, their version of WrestleMania. But they don't really, you know. So far, the match has been announced as AJ Lee coming back. She made her return after Becky Lynch attacked CM Punk. So CM Punk called her wife, and we got the return of AJ Lee, former Divas champion, former Raw GM. I enjoyed her time when she was managing Dolph Ziggler. But my favorite time was when she was the Raw GM. Actually, you know, I always love AJ Lee more as a character. I loved her. I loved the fact that we got to see her on TV. As a wrestler, I did not have a problem with it, you know. She was a great wrestler. The problem was the time. She was kind of like a big fish in a small pond. And it was just like, she didn't had a bad run. It was just like, there was only 2 wrestlers out there that you were like able to have great matches. And it was like from the beginning of her first title run all the way towards, I think, her second title range, or after WrestleMania 33, basically, you know, after she got married. After she got married to CM Punk, after WrestleMania 30, 2014, that's where she faced Paige, and that's where she had another great run. She had great storylines, but great feuds, great storylines. It's just when it came to bell-to-bell matches, it's like, wasn't really there. Besides those 2, Caitlyn and Paige, right? The one person I really wanted her to face was Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky. You know, and Sasha, because I think they were coming up from NXT at that time. So I feel like it would have been cool for AJ Lee to go to NXT, and I feel like that would have been a great place for her at that time, to go down to NXT, to be there for a couple of years. And I feel like if AJ Lee would have went down to NXT, she would have been like the Gail Kim, because I feel like she would have stayed there and be like, I want to be the face of this company because you're allowing me to work in the best way I can and still be able to tell a story. That's why I like the 4 horsewomen, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky. Now Becky and Bayley, the problem with them 2, I don't know who told them or who's giving them 15 minutes, 20-minute matches, but that's not them. I'm sorry. Now, if it's like a no disqualification, sure. Yes. But like, I would rather, if you're like, if you're telling me I gotta give a 15-minute, like I gotta give Becky and Bayley 15 minutes, that's like, here's a microphone. They're fantastic on the mic when it comes to being 15 minutes. But when it comes to the matches, it's like, man, it's like they go over, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have, and it's like a 2-minute match. We're going to go over a 2-minute match, but we're going to rest. So after I give you a move, you're going to sell it for like 48 seconds. And then the rest, we'll call it in the ring. And it's just like, no. And when it comes to Sasha and Charlotte, I would not want to give them 20 minutes on the mic. But they will get massive heat though. Massive heat if you do that. So that's how you sell tickets to a pay-per-view. But then when it comes to like their matches, fantastic. Charlotte, Sasha, 20 minutes all day. When it comes to something what I said similar to Bayley and Becky, Sasha and Charlotte, they know how to fill in the empty spaces with either wrestling holds, like submission holds, a headlock, a wrist lock, you know, whatever, chain wrestling. Becky and Bayley, they just like, they give you a move and they just like let you sit, stay down. Nothing wrong with that. But it's like when you do that for 20 minutes, it's like, oh man, that's something where it's like, yeah, you should do that in a 20-minute match. But you kind of start that off around the 10, 15-minute match. So basically, it's kind of like if you normally wrestle for 10 minutes, and that's the other thing where announcers should start saying when it comes to wrestling matches, this person normally wrestles for 10 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. This person's burned out, nobody's bringing that up. You know? So it's like, it's kind of like crazy. Kind of like John Cena and Logan Paul when they face each other. It was like, the reason why I didn't really like the match, it was because Logan Paul was burned out. It was just like, this is a different type of match. I give him credit, but nobody's bringing that up. Or maybe I missed the announcer bringing that up, where it's like, I'm pretty sure they said something similar, but it's the style and also that how long they've been wrestling for. And also, it's like, you're going on John Cena's pace, and he wrestles differently. Way differently than AJ Styles and a Seth Rollins and a Randy Orton. So, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, when it comes to that, where it's like, you do these slow stay down moments where that wrestler hasn't been, you know, like, damn, we passed the 10-minute mark. We passed the 15-minute marks. I've never wrestled for this long. That's where you could do a clothesline, boom, or a punch, and then sell it, like stay down kind of thing. But again, Bayley and Sasha, they do it within like the 8-10 minute match, and it's just like, okay, you know, and then they don't do the right moves for the selling. That's in my opinion, you know. I don't know, like, again, it's like there is a huge difference between Becky and Bayley, Sasha and Charlotte. Huge difference, you know. I feel like I'm not the only one who can see it. So yeah, yeah. All right, that was a lot to say. But all right, so the Io Sky, the triple threat match, I gotta say that was I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. TLC match, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. And then the Becky's match, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Because my prediction was kind of like spot on. So I enjoyed that match. And I like the build up, and I like the Trinity as well. Because I think this was the final Trinity between La Valkyrie and Becky Lynch. So as a final Trinity, this was by far the best one. I enjoyed the first two. I felt like, damn, this feud did not deserve a 3 Trinity. Premium live Trinity. It did deserve a Trinity, just not a premium live, you know, Trinity, in my opinion. But the payout in the end did work out. So it'd be kind of interesting how Valkyrie will gets back on the road for the Intercontinental Championship, or is she just gonna not go after it and probably face Becky Lynch for the Women's, you know, Championship in the future? So it's gonna be pretty interesting how that works out. But then, you know, you also have AJ Lee. You know, AJ Lee may take the title away from Becky Lynch. So she was holding the title. I don't know, because I went to SmackDown on John Cena's last tour. Last time in Chicago. So let's see, you know, last time in Chicago. So there's a chance we may get AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. So that's going to be pretty interesting. All right, let's continue. In the fourth match, Solo Sikoa defended the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu in a tough steel cage match. Fatu did an amazing double jump from the top rope on Sikoa twice, you know, almost winning the match. And then soon after, Tongaloa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga came to the cage, and also Jimmy Uso came out to stop them by kicking all three of them with a super kick around the announce table. Then eventually Solo was able to hit Fatu with a Samoan spike, nearly winning the match. And then in the end, I forgot who it was. I think I don't know if it was I believe it was Tongaloa who was able to handcuff Fatu in the cage, but he was still able to break free. And as Fatu stopped Solo from leaving, I believe it was once again it was Tongaloa that was able to push the steel door onto Fatu's head and then just basically letting Solo Sikoa out of the cage basically to win the match and keep his title. My prediction for that match was Solo, and Solo was the winner for that match. What's crazy was after this, Solo went on and dropped the United States Championship to Sami Zayn. Now, first of all, I thought Sami Zayn was going to win the United States Championship at SummerSlam. But, not SummerSlam, WrestleMania. I'm glad that didn't happen because I feel like he should win the World Heavyweight title. But it seems more like that's going to be in a future WrestleMania. You know, a certain place. There's going to be a perfect WrestleMania for Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble, and to go on and win the Royal Heavyweight Championship. But I do believe that 2026, Sami Zayn should win the Royal Rumble and go on and face the World Heavyweight Champion, whether that's Cody or Seth freaking Rollins, right? He should get that Cody Rhodes treatment of, ooh, you got pushed to the main event. You were so close, but you didn't win. The other part of me wants that triple threat match of like Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn in a triple threat match. And I kind of want Sami Zayn to win the Royal Rumble, and then like Jey Uso to win the Elimination Chamber. And then for the first time in history, you're thinking like, okay, we're going to get Sami Zayn versus Cody, Jay versus Seth Rollins, right? But instead, Jay's like, nah, I'm not going to go after Seth. I'm going to go after Cody, you know? And then from just that, Sami Zayn's going to be like, what do you mean? He's going to go crazy like, wait, you're taking my spot? Like, nah, this is going to be a triple threat match. I'm going after Cody Rhodes. This is going to be a triple threat match, you know? It's going to be a triple threat match. And then somehow, you know, because you could always find a way, because obviously if you have CM Punk versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Champion, you know, that's a main event WrestleMania. That's if they're going to close out WrestleMania. I don't know. I feel like Seth Rollins is going to close out WrestleMania Night 2. That seems like the goal. But you also have CM Punk where it seems like they're trying to have that fairy tale ending of him getting that World Heavyweight title and standing there in the ring with his wife, AJ Lee. You know? But then also getting that moment with Sami Zayn and his family, you know, winning the World Heavyweight title. So it's going to be pretty interesting how it goes out. I'll probably do a fantasy booking, a future episode of that, of how I would book Sami Zayn. Not just, I'll have like multiple choices of how many ways I would have booked it. And I'd probably do like a poll and be like, which one's the best option? You know, so I don't know. That's something to look forward. But yeah, because of Sami Zayn winning the United States Championship, I was able to go see him defend that title against the man you can't see and the man that we were able to see for the last time, and that was John Cena. Cena came out to Chicago to make his farewell, his goodbye. And Sami Zayn came out and did a U.S. title open challenge against John Cena. Something that John Cena used to do many years ago. He did an open challenge, and then Bret Hart actually came out and said he wasn't going to face John Cena. It would have been a cool moment if he did. But just them two sharing the same ring together was a historic moment and a historic night as well. Sami Zayn, though, was the one who actually came out after Bret Hart said, this is the man who you're going to face. and it was Sami Zayn. They had a great match. Unfortunately, Sami Zayn did get hurt that night. I believe, it dislocated his shoulder. He still continued his match with John Cena, and that's how he earned his respect, Cena's respect. So that night, Sami Zayn, Cena, they wrestled for about, I believe, almost like 20 to 30 minutes, I believe. I know Cena had like a whole 45 minutes to himself because the Chicago fans love him and all that stuff. It was a great night. And after AAA off the top rope from John Cena to Sami Zayn, Brock Lesnar comes out and interfere, and the match ends in a no contest. So Brock Lesnar F5s John Cena, and which was a crazy moment. I went to Chicago on SmackDown's show. Shout out to my sister for that, and she was amazed on how the X factor, the it factor of Brock Lesnar, his presence, and he, she kind of understood where it's like, damn, I see why this guy main evented so many WrestleManias. Kind of stuff like that, or why he was WWE champion for so long, or she kind of understood it. So, but obviously her mark-out moment was AJ Lee's return. That's the whole reason. And obviously John Cena's last tour. So it was a fantastic night. It was great to see AJ Lee return. It was great to see her sharing the ring with her husband CM Punk, and it was great to see John Cena one more time, and also get to see him wrestle one more time against Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. Last time I saw John Cena wrestle was at Fastlane in Indiana, where he teamed up with LA Knight, against the Bloodline. I believe it was Jimmy Uso and Solo in a tag team match, and the team of Cena and LA Knight, they won. So, and then the last time I actually got to see Cena was at WrestleMania 40 to help out during Cody Rhodes finish the story match. So, which was great, So, the fact that I got to see John Cena one more time with my sister meant a lot to me. And so it was great that Solo was able to drop the title to Sami Zayn just so we could have that great, fantastic match and that great moment between the two. I think the only thing that would have been better, or not better, but it would have sweetened it a little bit if Kurt Angle was the one who came out to confront John Cena, make it look like he's I don't want to say, because John Cena didn't. It would have been cool if Kurt Angle came out and shared that ring with John Cena in Chicago, though, and then Sami Zayn came out. You know what I mean? Or even Kurt Angle just being like, "Hey, I have somebody who wants to step up and face you," and then it was Sami Zayn. And then Sami Zayn does the Open US title challenge. So that but I was really hoping for a Solo versus Cena match one more time. I was really hoping for that match to happen. Cena does need a redemption match against Solo, because Solo did beat him at Crown Jewels. Whenever that year was, it 2023? It was the next premium live event after that Fastlane. So Cena and Solo needs to happen. If it doesn't, I guess I have to do a fantasy booking for that. I did a fantasy booking of them for the title. I really thought Solo was going to be WWE champion at WrestleMania 41 going against Cena. I really thought that. Or going against Roman Reigns. But I was wrong. Moving on. Alright, let's move on. Dominic Mysterio faced AJ Styles in a thriller match for the Raw Intercontinental Championship. Styles attempted a frog splash, but Mysterio countered by raising his knees. Styles then locked a calf crusher, but Mysterio was able to manage to reach for the ropes to break the hold. During the match, Dominic Mysterio threw a chair to Styles and fell into the mat. The referee nearly called to end the match. However, both competitors quickly got up back to their feet while Styles applied another calf crusher. Mysterio escaped thanks to his loose boot. Mysterio seized the opportunity, striking Styles with the boot, securing the victory with a frog splash to retain his title. Prediction was Dominic Mysterio, and the winner was Dominic Mysterio. And I gotta say, this match was fantastic. Leading up to the pay-per-view, leading up to the premium live event, leading up to this great storytelling match that they did in the ring. AJ Styles said that this is his last SummerSlam ever, and what a great one to be. You know, it sucks that AJ Styles did not win. I feel like he should have, but this win means more to Dominic Mysterio, defeating a guy like AJ Styles, and he did it all alone. No Judgment Day. He did need to cheat a little bit, but hey, it's all right. And then shout out to AJ Styles for wearing the same gear as Eddie Guerrero from SummerSlam 2005. You know, that's crazy, man. And Dominic Mysterio was able to face a guy like AJ Styles as champion for the Intercontinental Champion. You know, I'm just so proud and happy how far Dominic has improved in his storytelling in the ring, you know. And I'm just happy that he's still part of Judgment Day. I really hope they don't really split him up. You know, it'd be cool if he had his own stable in AAA. But other than that, I'm kind of happy with what they got going on with him. So hopefully he does become AAA Mega Champion. Moving on. Prior to the main event, Stephanie McMahon made an appearance to announce that Night 2, SummerSlam Night 2, attendance reached 60,561. Damn. It's time for the main event, SummerSlam Night 2, street fight for the undisputed WWE Championship. John Cena as the champion going against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes in a thriller street fight for the WWE Championship. The match was full of intense moments. Both wrestlers exchanged powerful maneuvers, resulting in several near falls. As the fight progressed, Cena performed an attitude adjustment through the announce table. The action spilled into the crowd, and Cena made a dramatic return from the stage elevator before carrying Rhodes on his shoulder and delivered an attitude adjustment before carrying him one more time to the ring. Rhodes executed not one, but 3 crossroads and went for the cover, and Cena was still able to kick out before the 3 count while the fans were chanting Super Cena. Towards the end, Cena delivered 2 attitude adjustments before trying an avalanche attitude adjustment, which Rhodes was able to counter with a Cody cutter through a table. Afterwards, Cody Rhodes saluted Cena before hitting him with the crossroads, cover him, and goes for the 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes wins the WWE title back from John Cena. The prediction for that match was Cody Rhodes, and the winner was Cody Rhodes. And after that match, John Cena handed the championship to Rhodes, leading a heartfelt embrace. The event ended with a surprise return by Brock Lesnar. Basically came out, clotheslined Cena, and F5 him, closing out the show. That was SummerSlam Night 2. Big moments, big fights coming up. I'll announce the awards and talk about who really deserve the spotlight. Chapter 3, My Dream Event. Alright, now it's time for My Dream Event, and I'm joined by my guest, Andre the Savage. And together we're picking out the matches we want to see. No limits, no rules, just pure passion. After that, Andre sticking around for the big watch along. Let's get into it. All right, Andre, let's do my dream event, this or that. I'm going to give you two options, right? These options are going to be matches. They're going to, it's fantasy booking. They're going to be awkward. Some are going to be cool. Some are going to be, what the hell, why would some are going to be pretty obvious which one you're picking, but all these matches are here, or the wrestlers are here for a purpose, something maybe you want to bring up and discuss, or, again, you could always just pick a match and we'll move on to the next. And then after that, we'll go down on who will go over. All right. So here's the first match. Which one is going to be your opening match? This FTR from AEW going against the Street Profit from WWE, or is it going to be that Beer Money, Bobby Roode and James Storm from TNA going against Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD McDonough in a tag team match? Which of these tag team matches is going to be your opening match?
FTR versus Street Profits, because I could really care less for JD McDonough. JD McDonough can F off.
So hold on, because of one person.
Yeah.
One person. You're going to ruin a whole dream match. That's crazy. Because of one person? Damn, what did he do?
Can't stand him.
Man, nah, I'm going with, I gotta disagree with you. I mean, that's one thing, you can't stand him, but I'm not gonna, because of one person, I'm not gonna miss out on a dream match. I'm going with Beer Money and versus
maybe
Judgment
a dream match for you, but it's a horrible match for me.
That's true. But it's FTR. So what? FTR and Street Profit a dream match, or is just it's going to be a fire match?
I mean, if the Street Profits are allowed to perform the way they were in NXT, because I feel like
this is your dream match. That's the book. How would you book it?
When Vince brought them up to the main roster, same thing with FTR. He made them look like crap.
Right.
When you had them both on the NXT brand, they put on some fire matches. That's why both teams got to be the NXT Tag Team Champions during their respective times. So if you have Triple H booking them from their NXT time in a match together, it's going to be like on par as Dudley's and Hardy's back in the day.
Nice.
Without the use of gimmicks of the tables or the chairs, but that level of intensity and speed, and that's what you'll get out of it.
Okay, that's how you would book it, like the Street Profit. Like, that's what I want from you guys.
Yeah,
that NXT level.
I don't want the main roster NXT.
No,
I don't want the main roster Street Profits and FTR, because then I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
So they never face each other in NXT?
No, because FTR came up in 2016 after New Day's long title reign. At that time, Street Profits were just starting in the NXT brand. Then they came up afterwards.
And
then by the time they were both in the main roster, Vince had already gotten rid of them.
FTR.
Yeah.
I don't think he got rid of them. I think they didn't want to re-sign, right?
I mean, they stayed as long as until the Hart Foundation Hall of Fame. So after that, they were pretty much gone. What ruined them were stupid skits like them shaving each other's backs. Crap.
That's what. But they were going to get paid a lot of money. No, was that? Yeah, I think WWE, they were going to get paid a lot of money. But then when they went to AEW, it was because what's it called? The wrestling, right? And now it's funny because now they're wrestling less. But they're still having classic matches, though, when they're wrestling.
I mean, they're getting injured more now because they're doing extra stuff that Vince didn't want them to do in the first place.
Well, that's true. Adam Cole, baby. All right. Match 2, which is going to be the mid-card workhorse match. This, Seth Rollins versus DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, or that AJ Styles versus Eddie Guerrero. Two classic matches. All four of these men are workhorse for the company. Which one is going to be your mid-card match? Seth Rollins versus DDP or AJ Styles versus Eddie Guerrero?
I say Seth Rollins versus DDP. I want to see them trying to counter each other's finishers into their finisher.
Oh,
I
snap.
want to see Seth trying to do a stomp, and I know it's not the RKO, but
Right.
there was something about DDP's diamond cutter that he didn't need to jump up and do the RKO. He just had to catch them off guard and pull them down with him. Uh,
Mm.
and then same thing with DDP. I want to see him trying to close a match with a diamond cutter, and then somehow Seth reverses out of it and stomps him. Seth being the trash talker that he is, you hear him screaming that. How was that for yoga?
Shadow of the greatness. Which generation clash deserves a spotlight? This Trick William versus The Undertaker, or that Hangman Adam Page versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. Let's go. Which one's going to be your third match? Come on, man.
HBK versus Hangman.
Woo! Yes, that's the one I was hoping you would pick, man. That's the one I'm picking too.
Yeah, you'd be two if you have Trick versus Taker. You'd have two guys that don't have much stamina.
It would be like, I feel like Trick and The Undertaker, if they wrestle a good 8 minutes, is all you need.
Unless it's Prime Taker, then you're gonna have two winded guys that
But
need to
hey,
rely on bumps. You need to rely on spots at that point to give them a chance to breathe. Like when you would have Taker versus Batista, you need both of them to be out for a bit so that you can get them a chance to catch their breath.
so they're gonna be doing like 8 minute spots, but the match overall is gonna be like double because majority of it is gonna be selling. Where Hangman Page and Shawn is just gonna be fast paced
and overselling.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine the argument between them? Do you think Hangman Page would listen to Shawn Michaels?
I mean, if he wasn't willing to listen to CM Punk.
There you go. Let's go on to match 4. This is another dream match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk, or John Cena versus MJF. What is it? Maxwell Jackson? No. It's MJF, right? What does his name stand for again? I forgot. Maxwell.
Something Jewish.
Jeez.
Yeah. MJF versus Cena. I want to hear that promo. I want to hear that shoot segment
between the two. I'm surprised he doesn't have a talk show on AEW yet.
For all the possibilities of like worse things happen in the match, what's going to make up for that is the storyline. Them just talking smack to each other, just shooting on everything on each other.
Now it's time for the co-main event, or maybe this is the main event. Time for the main event. Icons, Die Hard, Street Fight, main event, the Ultimate Generation War. Who's headlining your dream show? This Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage versus The Rock and Roman Reigns, or that Hollywood Hogan and Scott Hall versus Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be the second one because there's no way at all that Randy's gonna want to partner with Hogan.
Not even going against The Rock and Roman Reigns.
Damn well after Randy Savage left the NWO, he was never going to partner with Hogan again.
Isn't it what he only partnered up because he filled in for Hogan when Hogan didn't want to do it?
Yeah, but then afterwards, you never saw them around each other anymore. It was pretty much like they came up with Saturday Night WCW just to keep them apart, the same way that AEW did Collision to keep Punk and the Young Bucks away from each other.
Oh yeah.
See, they keep doing the same crap that WCW did, and they don't want to accept it.
Yeah,
they're doing a lot of the same mistakes.
All right, so
Tony
here
Schiavone was there. He should have said something.
he's been saying something. They don't listen. So this is how your lineup came up. So you have FTR versus the Street Profit. You picked that over Beer Money and Judgment Day. For the second match, the Workhorse match, you picked Seth Rollins versus DDP over AJ Styles and Eddie Guerrero. For the third match, you picked Hangman Adam Page versus Shawn Michaels. Instead of Trick Williams. I was gonna say Trick Daddy. Trick Williams and The Undertaker. You picked John Cena versus MJF instead of Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk. I agreed with that one. I think we agreed for most of them except for the opening match and I think the opening match was the one we just disagreed. And then the main event, Hollywood Hogan and Scott Hall teaming up to go against Roman Reigns and Jey Uso instead of booking Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage teaming up to go against the final boss, The Rock and Roman Reigns. Now that we got your dream event, right now we're going to go who's going over, FTR or the Street Profits? Street Profits. Damn, man, I've been smoking too much.
FTR.
How are they going over? If you don't care, then move on to the next match.
Don't care.
Don't care. Seth Rollins versus DDP. Who's going over?
Damn. That one is one that I do care.
And please explain. This is where this is the part where you could talk on how you want the match to go down.
I'll say DDP just because I want to see him get a good win, not that BS win he got at WrestleMania 18 against Christian, like Halloween Havoc style DDP.
All right, let me ask you, how long are you giving Seth Rollins and DDP?
20 minutes.
Ooh, nice. Well, 20-minute match, so like 25 overall then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What about the opening match?
Give it a good 18 minutes.
Damn, for somebody that doesn't really care about it, you're giving them that much. Damn. All right, so their third match, Hangman Page versus Shawn Michaels.
HBK, 12 minutes.
12 minutes match? So what, 15 to 20 minutes with the entrance?
Yep.
Damn. Honestly, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's fair. Okay. All right, John Cena versus MJF. Who's going over?
Super Cena, because MJF's a douche and he needs to be taken down a few pegs.
I'm afraid to ask for the time.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes, Big Mac John.
Yeah, that because do you want MJF to be known as a wrestler in the ring or more on the mic? Because obviously that's what's going to be most talked about anyways. After that match is done, so you're not wrong. They could have a 10-minute match or a 30-minute match. At the end of the day, the only thing people are going to talk about is the build up to that match. So,
because there could always be a stinker, and then all they're going to remember is the promos.
Yeah, like the Miz. Yeah. The Miz.
That's the exact comparison. The Miz.
Yeah, the Miz. I don't remember. Yeah,
that's what he is. That's all he is. He's a Team U Miz.
Yeah,
who's Jewish. That's it.
All right, time for the
Italian. You traded an Italian for a Jewish guy.
The Miz is Italian.
Yeah,
explains Maurice, man. Beautiful Maurice. All right, the main event: Hollywood Hogan, Scott Hall versus Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. Who's going over?
one more for the bad guys.
Ooh.
So you thought I was going to do the? You thought one more for the bad guys.
Interesting. Interesting. So I'm guessing Scott Hall's getting the win.
Because it's the NWO, and there's always somebody around outside, on the outside watching.
Jimmy.
Because unless you're going to let Mang be Mang, actually be Mang, not just a storyline Mang, then
right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there goes your dream event.
And then you have Hogan and Scott Hall tag them on the back. Black and red.
Oh yeah, so Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, they'll be the NWO red and black if you think about it. Kevin Nash could come out there and help them out. That'd be dope. Oh damn, that's dope as fuck.
Assuming he doesn't tear his quad on the way to the ring.
He probably will. Like goddamn.
Wait, he tears his quads going on Twitter.
Shit. So that's your dream.
Vince Russo's not booking that match either.
All right. That's our dream card event. No limits, just the matches we want to see. And Andre's sticking around for the next part, so don't go anywhere. Chapter 4, the big fight replay. Hogan versus The Rock. Some fights stick in your mind forever. Hogan and The Rock at WrestleMania is one of those. A battle that shook the crowd and changed history. Let's watch it again. All right, let's go. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, locking up. Look at that. That strength, brother. Ooh, yeah, the flex. Look at that. Now, what was going on around this time when you heard this match?
I got psyched about it from the moment, from the Raw in Chicago, where Hogan came out to adjust the crowd, and Rock was the one to challenge him.
Yo, whoa. That happened on Chicago? That happened in Chicago? Yeah. Oh, snap. How do you know that? That's wild. Oh, damn. That happened in Chicago. That's crazy. Oh, that side headlock right there. Old school. Right there. Hogan asking the ref. No, he's asking the ref to tell. Ask him, ref. Ask The Rock if he has given up. Look at that. He's flexing once again. Shoulder tackle. Oh, snap. The Rock. The crowd is going crazy.
So, yeah, it was February 18, 2002 at the Allstate Arena.
That's crazy.
And if you see that spot where Hogan hits the ambulance, you actually see the Chicago Expressway outside of the United Center.
Oh, that happened that same night?
Sorry, not the United Center, the Allstate. Yeah. So when you look at you see the Allstate in the background from where Hogan's driving the semi into the ambulance.
Damn. No, I knew. Okay, so that scene right there with the ambulance, I know about that. I knew that happened in Chicago. I did not knew that happened the same night though.
That was that same night, yeah. Because
that's crazy. I thought that was like a week apart.
Because The Rock was like, not as much as you, brother. Hits him with the rock bottom.
Right.
Does his posing. He gets to the ramp, and that's when Nash and Hall take him down.
Oh.
And that was so that they can give The Rock time to do the Scorpion King movie. Because that's what he was filming at that time. He was filming the last bits of The Mummy Returns and then doing the Scorpion King.
Oh, okay. Because, see, that makes sense. Because at that time, I was just still watching SmackDown.
And then why he took time off. So he was doing 3 movies all around the same period, even though they all came out different times.
Right.
Mummy Returns, Scorpion King, and The Rundown with Sean William Scott from American Pie.
Mm-hmm.
So That was just so he can get through the whole wrap up. It's once he left after Brock Lesnar that he went to go do the Walking Tall and all the other movies.
Yeah, that's when he was gone for like months now, right?
Yeah,
Interesting.
and
Hogan.
it's crazy, man. How he's about in weight size. He's what how Hogan should look. But I think it's also because of his height. Rock is taller than Hogan, so that gives him an extra 15, 20 pounds more over him.
Boom! Look at that. Back and forth. Strikes from The Rock, and there goes the spit in the hand.
I get why people say Hogan and Austin should have been the thing, but when you look at it from a careers perspective, from a mainstream thing, Rock and Hogan made more sense
They did.
because of popularity. Yes, Austin was the popular one from 98, 97, 96, 99, but from career trajectory, Rock and Hogan were more entertainment versus entertainment.
Now, are you saying that for WrestleMania or just in general?
In general, but also like the type of torch bearing. Even though Austin was the ratings drawer at the time, when you look at it from the type of characters they were, Rock, Hogan, Cena, they were like, we're about the people, whereas Austin was more like, I can care less if you support me or not. I'm not going to do what you tell me to do.
Right.
He was the anti-hero guy.
Yeah.
He was more of the Batman to a Superman.
That makes sense.
Whereas Rock, Cena, Hogan, they were more the Captain America, Superman kind of persona.
Okay. So you're saying more like in the personality kind of way, where it's just, but in the ring, not in the mic. Obviously, on the mic, Stone Cold, Stone Cold and Hogan, magic. But in the ring, it's like, it's not there.
It's not the same psychology.
No, they wrestle differently. And I think that was the issue too, of they couldn't find a way to make this match work for somebody to go over,
because Austin was not gonna want to be beat cleanly by Hogan, and Hogan didn't want to be beat cleanly by Austin.
right? And then obviously at that time, well, that was the thing. I feel like Steve Austin could have lost to Hogan because Hogan would have won dirty. But me personally, I ain't gonna lie. Because it was WrestleMania, I really thought it was gonna be The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin teaming up for the first time ever to go against the NWO. It happened at Raw.
Now let's say it was Austin and Hogan. Who was The Rock going to be able to face?
Hall.
That's even kind of like
Yeah.
In this situation, I think it would have been if you had kept DDP.
What if it was Razor Ramon or DDP?
If DDP hadn't gotten buried, man, I think he would have had the best storyline with The Rock.
Yeah, but that would have happened at SummerSlam, though.
So, well, regardless of when it would happen,
right? But they could have saved. They could have saved. What if the right buildup? What if the buildup was Chris Jericho and The Rock? If you push everything, say if they did have The Rock and DDP and SummerSlam, and then after that it was Booker T, and then after that the rivalry between The Rock and Chris Jericho lasted all the way to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I mean the way they should have built Triple H and Jericho, you should have focused on putting him on the shelf and coming back to get his revenge. Because in theory, technically, Jericho was the one that caused, air quote, the quad injury.
Yeah,
Triple H split his knee. Triple H split his knee as he was trying to break the walls of Jericho that he had on Austin.
WrestleMania 18 could have been so much better,
but it still was a great pay-per-view.
Yeah. Regardless, it was still a great show.
19, 17, and then 18. That would be the order of which was the best versus the still acceptable.
Wait, what order you gave?
19, 17, and then 18.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
19 being
yeah,
the best,
yeah.
19 being the best, 17 being in the middle, and then 18 could have been the best if it hadn't been for the stupid concerts that took up all that time. That
Mm,
took away time from the wrestlers.
I actually enjoy the concert. I think what was the one match that I thought was uncalled for? The hardcore title match. I think that match was uncalled for.
It's a shame how Maven ruined his career with the missing the drop kick.
I don't remember. Did he miss a drop kick?
Yeah, he threw. I don't
Oh,
know if
was
he
that with
threw
the
or he put.
garbage can?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
if you watch it back, he doesn't even come close to touching the garbage can.
That's fucking man. And then he lost it. Didn't he lose it the same night to Christian? Oh,
He
look
no,
at
he
that
lost it.
choke slam.
He lost it, but it got the usual hardcore title hot potato. Everyone became the hardcore champion, but he beat Christian for it at the end of it.
No, that was a nice choke slam. Look at that.
See, this would have been more of a spot for Austin if he had faced Hogan,
Mm.
doing dirty crap like that.
Yeah, because I see. Because imagine if Steve Austin was there and what's it called? The fans start cheering for him. He already knows that he's gonna have to lose to that leg drop, and he doesn't want to lose to that leg drop. But the match that Hogan had with Triple H at Backlash, I feel like that would have been a great ending for Austin if they would have faced each other. Like Scott Hall could have came in, hit him with the steel chair, and then Hogan drops the leg drop. Just took it outside,
And
brother.
unfortunately, Triple H would have preferred. Unfortunately for him, there was not so much of a hero versus fan thing for Triple H. His was always Nate.
Mm.
So from a fan's perspective, Triple H would have preferred Nature Boy to have been
Oh yeah,
there.
what wasn't that the build up though? It was Triple H was going up against his hero for Backlash.
I mean, he could have, but that's not where it was going towards.
I
Ric
thought
Flair was
yeah, no, but I know Triple H his actual hero is Ric Flair, but I'm saying for the story of
that's what they tried.
that's
Yeah,
what they were building up, right? The
yeah,
story between them was Triple H was going against his hero. That's why he became a bodybuilder like his hero Hulk Hogan and all
yeah.
that. But none of that
But
was
you could
true.
tell you
Yeah.
could tell like Triple H. You could tell Triple H was like not even believing his own hype because he knew it wasn't true.
Right. Yeah, that's honestly I wanna if there's ever a time I interview Triple H, that's the one match I want to discuss. Like how they went down. Because, I know you must have not been happy, but the match turned out fantastic though. So I feel like I feel like he wasn't happy about it, but that the match turned out great, that he was happy with it. But I mean, obviously I
Well,
could be wrong.
it also helped that Hogan and Taker got involved because
Yeah. And Jericho, can't forget about
they
Chris Jericho.
that's what I said, Jericho and Taker. But I'm saying
Oh, I think he's
what they did is they planted the seeds for the next pay per view for their rivalries for
yes,
the next pay per view.
they did.
So they in Jericho and Triple H's case, they continued their rivalry from WrestleMania to close off in a Hell in a Cell.
These thing or that whatever the proper word is, that match needed to end in a Hell in a Cell match. Like of all the matches that took place at Judgment, like why that match or why even have a Hell in a Cell match? I feel like a street fight would have been appropriate. Sharpshooter time.
If you think
That's what you
about
need.
it,
That's what you need for your back right there. That sharpshooter.
if you think about it, that was pretty much the one rivalry that ended in a Hell in a Cell afterwards because you never really saw Jericho or Triple H face each other one on one anymore.
Oh yeah.
They only got involved with each other if there was somebody nearby, if there was someone else involved in the match.
Oh yeah. 6-man tag team
They
match.
never really
Yeah.
had a one on one rivalry anymore. They would either be part of a tag team or they were on the same side as heels. You
Mm.
never saw them face each other in a storyline anymore.
You know what's crazy?
They would
Because you,
tease them. They would
yeah,
tease the match happening, but it would never happen.
Oh, you know what would have been a good one? Chris Jericho, the suit versus Triple H. I feel like that should have happened. What would have been a perfect time for that?
I mean, it technically happened, but like I said, it was never one on one. It was, if you think about
But
it, it technically
yeah.
happened when it was Jericho versus DX.
So
But you never
that's
got to,
yeah.
but you never
That's
got to see the Attitude Era Triple H versus
yeah,
the.
but that wasn't the same suit version that was going against Chris Jericho. I mean Chris Kent's going against Chris Jericho when Chris Jericho was world champion, when he was going against Shawn Michaels and who Batista and all that, right? He was in that version of Chris Jericho at that time when he was with Big Show. They were called the Jericho Show. And he tried to be serious, but I mean he still was serious, but not as serious. Um, but when you mentioned about Triple H and Jericho's rivalry in the Hell in the Cell, it goes. I mean, it's a TLC match, but it's a ladder match. I mean, a ladder was involved. It applies with Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels as well. So the last time they faced each other was in a ladder match. And then they had that great ladder match at No Mercy 2008 for the World Heavyweight title. And that was bogus as hell because that was the whole reason why Vince took the title off Punk because he wanted that match. He wanted those two to have a ladder match for the title.
You could have done it. All you had to do was just swap out somebody you didn't like in the scrambler. You could have still had Jericho pin Punk
Yeah.
instead of removing him. You could have removed the person you didn't like in that match. Let Jericho fight them for that spot, and then he is the one that gets the heel pin over Punk. Don't even give him a clean one. Give him a heel pin. You could have had Kane or whoever was the monster in the match hit Punk with the finisher, and as the two monsters fight each other on the outside, you have Jericho sneak in and take the pin.
Ooh, rock bottom. Is that the first rock bottom? 1,
Yeah.
2. Oh, he kicked out, brother. Oh no. It's time to Hulk up. Boom, look at that. There goes the strike from The Rock. The Rock is like, what am I going to do? Oh, the point.
Here's a little funny scenario right now. So this is the first Hogan Toronto Mania since Mania 5. And I'm
With
wearing
the
the Mania
Ultimate
5
Warrior.
I'm wearing the Mania 5 button down from Hogan.
Oh, for real? Are you? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I thought you were wearing an Ultimate Warrior shirt.
Well, it's technically he's on it, so.
Oh, he's on it?
Yeah, the Hogan Warrior shirt. The button down from RSVLT or something.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the title. You're wearing the shirt too? Oh, you're wearing okay, I see it. Ah, dope. Oh, here comes the big boot. Oh, right in the shoulder. The famous leg drop. Oh no, The Rock moved out of the way. Hogan booty first. Look at those boots. Oh, rock bottom. Oh, snap. The Rock, he could tell the fans are not happy with that rock bottom. I'll do another one, brother. Oh, here it comes. So this is the third rock bottom. Oh, boom. Is that enough?
No matter what this, there is definitely a difference between the book and the rock bottom.
There is.
Booker T just throws a person, whereas Rock comes crashing down with the person.
Ooh. Leaps over him and drops the elbow. Boom. Right on the chest. 1, 2, 3. Hogan lost to the people elbow. The Rock has won. Victory over Hulk Hogan. What's your thoughts on that match?
I liked it overall.
I know the listeners may think we're not super excited about the match, obviously, because we watched this match so many times. And then obviously it's kind of difficult without the audio too. Because we get the vibes from the crowd too. That crowd was amazing.
Vibes from the crowd, but then you got the returning duo of Jerry the King Lawler and JR as the commentators.
Yeah.
I liked it overall because I enjoyed watching that rivalry and build and being growing up as a Rock fan. It was great seeing him get the win over Hogan. It was a torch passing situation. It just sucks that at the time Rock was already going into the Hollywood transition. So um,
And I'm pretty
seeing
sure
that that was
that
his seeing
uh,
that that was his last win before he would take off for a while and not seeing the Rock for a while as a kid sucked
yeah.
because I was more of a Rock fan than I was an Austin fan.
Yeah, I was happy about the fact that I wasn't happy with the fact that Stone Cold was gonna face Scott Hall. I actually wanted him to face Kevin Nash. But I guess he was hurt at the time. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Nash got hurt a few times towards the end of the WCW situation, and he would get injured while training. That's why he also that's why he didn't wrestle till like that night that he tore his quad.
Mm.
That's why they needed to get X Pac because they needed somebody that was going to be wrestling from the whole group.
X Pac. That match never gets old. Now it's time for some awards and some real talk about who deserves the spotlight. Let's go. Let's hand out some real awards. SummerSlam 2025. Spotlight of the night goes to John Cena. Big energy, big heart, making every moment count. And bell to bell performer goes to Dominic Mysterio. He went all the way in his match for the Intercontinental title against AJ Styles. No breaks, no fades. Now here's where I get real. All right. Cena gets the glory. Hogan owns the legacy. The big names get all the shine, right? But what about the grinders, man? The ones who work hard every night without the hype. Guys like AJ Styles, Dominic Mysterio, and Trick Williams. They deserve respect. So here's my call. The real main event are these guys. Not the past, not the flash. The future is in the workhorse. And that future is Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio. So let's go. Let's go. Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. Let's go. This happened back in 2023. No Mercy. NXT No Mercy. So let's go. Dominic right now, he just took the greatest drop kick ever from Trick Williams that made him roll out of the ring. Dominic grabbed the NXT title. He's like, I'm out, man. I'm going home. I'm done. That was enough. But Trick Williams went after him and threw him right back in the ring. And there goes, bumps him. Trick Williams bumps Dominic and scoops him up. Scoop power slam. And there goes a running clothesline from Trick Williams to Dominic Mysterio. Both men are brawling outside the ring now. I think Trick Williams was a babyface at this time, if I'm not mistaken. And Dominic, yeah, because Dominic was the heel. This is 2023, so this is going into WrestleMania 40 then. Chop from Dominic to Trick Williams. Dominic Mysterio is taking advantage of this match now. Taking advantage, but he's taking lead in this match now. The fans are booing him. Damn, Dominic got a black eye. Boom! What are that? Strike punches from Dominic Mysterio to Trick Williams. Another one. Nice running knee from Dominic to Trick Williams. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Dominic Mysterio is going for a chin lock now, asking Dragon Lee, who is a special guest referee, to ask Trick Williams if he gives up. And Trick said no. The crowd's getting behind Trick Williams saying, whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Trick William is fighting back with a couple elbow strikes to the gut of Dominic, and oh, what a forearm to the back of Trick Williams. Irish whip, reverse, spring, cross body dive, but Dominic Mysterio was able to move out of the way. All I'm saying, Dominic Mysterio has improved a lot. A lot as a superstar, as a character, and as a worker in the ring. You know, I'll give credit where credit's due for Logan Paul, but it's like, yeah, you do good work, don't get me wrong, but it's like you only work, 5-6 times a year, and also you got that Brock Lesnar contract. It's because, he's a celebrity and all that. But Dominic Mysterio, he's been working. He's been proving time and time, again, that why he's the greatest of all time, why he's the greatest Mysterio of all time, why he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, And it's just crazy that there's no build-up for Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena, yet, the day of recording. So, but I feel like they should be a build-up but I feel like there should be a build-up between John Cena and Dominic Mysterio, even, John Cena versus Judgment Day. And, oh, there you go. Double clothesline. Both men are down. Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio. The referee, or Dragon Lee, he starts the count. He goes for the one. He's not counting. Never mind. He was just raising his hand. Never mind. I thought he was going to start the count, but I guess not, To be fair, Dragon Lee never went to referee school, so he probably he doesn't know the rules, Maybe the referees didn't tell him, or maybe he forgot. Maybe he don't want to count. Maybe he wants a fair winner, because I believe Dragon Lee is the number 1 contender after this. Oh, snap! Oh, Dragon Lee! He is down! But is he out? Oh, yes, he's out because he rolled out of the ring. Dominic Mysterio went for a super kick, and Trick William was able to dock it and move out of the way, where he basically just ducked down and accidentally hit Dragon Lee. Took him out. Remember, Dragon Lee is the special guest referee for this match. Oh, snap! Dominic hits the turnbuckle face first, and Trick Williams hit him with a neck breaker. Goes for the cover. Oh. No. 1, 2. Kick out. It was a little delayed because Trick Williams was like, damn, he realized there was no ref. But then by the time he got up, a ref was there, and he's like, damn, he just realized, like, oh, man. So he went back for the cover to cover Mysterio, and Mysterio was still able to kick out. Trick Williams sends Dominic Mysterio to the ropes, middle of the ropes. Ooh, flagjack. What is he trying to do here? Is he setting up for that Roadhouse? The Roadhouse kick. He connects. 1, 2. Oh, snap. Dominic Mysterio was able to kick out before the 3. The match will continue. Another Irish whip. Ooh, both men accidentally collide heads. Both men are down. What was the whole point of Dragon Lee being the guest referee, to be honest? It's crazy that in 2025, I'm watching this match back, right? And Trick Williams is currently the TNA World Heavyweight Champion while still working for NXT. That's WWE, under the WWE umbrella, right? Dominic Mysterio is the Intercontinental Champion, where he had a classic bell-to-bell match with AJ Styles in SummerSlam 2025, man. So a great year for both men, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, and Trick Williams, Also, they're recording Trick Williams defending the TNA World Heavyweight Champion against Mike Santana, or I think he's just going by Santana, formerly formerly member or one half of the former tag team of LAX, Pride and Joy. I think that's what they used to be called in AAW with Ortiz. So I think he's like a 2-time TNA Tag Team Champion or Impact Tag Team Champion. Oh, snap! Dominic just shoulder tackled the referee. Oh, Dominic has the NXT World title. Oh, he's trying to hit Trick, but he moved. Oh, he ducks. Oh, the running high knee. The Trick knee. The whoop that Trick knee. 1. Oh, it's Dragon Lee. 1, 2, 3. Ring the bell. We have a new NXT North American Champion, Trick Williams. Whip that Trick. Whip that Trick. Yeah. What a match. What a main event. This wasn't a main event. I don't know what card number it was on the card, but it was a fantastic match. Short, simple, got to the point, told the story. That's what, Dominic does. He tells the story in the ring. So, congrats to Trick Williams. North American Champion. No Mercy. NXT No Mercy. You guys could check it out on Peacock and on YouTube. So, totally recommend checking that out if you guys want. But yeah, I rate this match like a solid, like a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is not too bad, So, yeah, I like it. But yeah, like it's crazy how Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio, how much they accomplished. Like from that match to currently, Like I said, currently Dominic Mysterio is Intercontinental Champion. He had some great matches with Penta, AJ Styles. Also, I think he's going to go face Valkyno, who is the AAA Mega Champion. He's going to be, I think it's champ. I don't know if it's champion versus champion, but I don't know if both titles are on the line or just the Mega title is on the line. But point is, if Dominic wins, he's going to basically be a main eventer in AAA, which is pretty crazy and insane, and then again, Trick Williams, he's in TNA, being their TNA World Heavyweight Champion, So it's like WCW and WWE working together back in 2021, and Booker T. I don't know I guess Booker T showing up to WWE and winning the world champion, basically. It's like that's what's kind of going on, which is pretty crazy. It's a weird metaphor. I don't know if that's a metaphor. Is metaphor even a word? I have no idea. All right, that was it for this episode. I appreciate everyone who tuned in and made it this far. IAN is who I am, and a storyteller is who I'm trying to be. And if you're feeling so high and enjoy, give me a holla, like and subscribe. This is New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Until next time, deuces.